Hey all you horror fans, I'm David with Terrible Reviews, and if you like all things horror, make sure you hit that follow button. Today's review is going to be for the first Leprechaun. We hit another box set this time, so the second movie will be our review on Saturday, but let's see what we think about Leprechaun 1. Okay, so I remember liking the first one a lot when I was growing up, but over time, I think it kind of lost that shine for me. So let's get right into the review, and I can tell you some of the things that I didn't really enjoy this time around. So first up is terror. Is this movie scary? No, not at all. I can only give it a 1 on the scary factor. This one, they went straight comedy with some gore elements to it. But this movie is not scary. So let's go ahead and move on to the gore. The special effects in this movie aren't terrible. I mean, some things don't hold up like the leprechaun magic, but a lot of the practical effects are decent. They're not the greatest, but they hold up pretty well. So I'll give this one a 3 out of 5 for gore. The effects, like I said, weren't that great, but some of the kills were very funny and very enjoyable, and the effects on them weren't terrible. So I gotta give it a little bit of slack there. Now story is really where this one falls apart. The writing isn't the greatest. The jokes aren't really all hitting, for me at least. But it is still enjoyable, and the actors aren't terrible. This is one of Jennifer Aniston's very first roles, and she did wonderful in it. And of course, Warwick Davis is amazing as the Leprechaun. He gives it a lot of energy and makes it an enjoyable antagonist and villain for the series. So I think the acting really carried this one and made it as fun as it was, but the writing definitely could have used some help. Which I believe, if I remember right, the rest of the movies kind of were a little bit better than this one as far as the writing went, for the jokes. But at least for this one, a lot of the stuff was falling flat for me, although I really did like a lot of his one-liners. And I really liked them, like, really sticking to the Leprechaun lore with him shining the shoes and everything and being very meticulous about stuff like that. So I kind of enjoyed that stuff. But I wish there was a little bit more story with this, but it's a comedy horror, so you're not going to get too much of that. So for story, I will give this one a 3 out of 5 as well. The acting really carried this movie for it, but the writing in the story itself wasn't the greatest. And then lastly, is this movie fun? Now this, while I do think a lot of the jokes fell flat, a lot of them were pretty funny, and the movie was just a campy, fun mess. So I will be giving this one a 4 out of 5 for fun. I do recommend that you watch this movie, and it's actually free on YouTube, with ads of course, but it is free on YouTube. So if you guys want to, go check it out. I definitely recommend it. It's a good time. Just don't expect it to be scary, and don't expect the writing to be super intricate in this movie. Was Leprechaun terrifying or terrible? I would have to say it's pretty terribly terrifying. But have you seen Leprechaun? If you have, let me know what you thought in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next review.